What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Queen's Shadow by E.K. Johnston. So there are a couple of pretty big takeaways from this book. I think the first one is that you really get to figure out who Padme is, because you are seeing her at a time in her life where she herself doesn't know who she is. Like, the very first thing I wrote down when I was taking notes for this book is, who is Padme? And at the very end of this book, you finally figure it out because she also finally figures it out. So Padme, up until this point in her life, like she's only 18 years old, has been the Queen of Naboo. I mean, granted, she only served for 4 years, but those were some pretty big formative years for her. And she talks about how being Queen Amidala, it was very impersonal. Like, she really had to separate Padme from the Queen, and it was very much like she would put on the mask of Queen Amidala so that Padme could fade into the shadows, where nobody would notice her, where she could kind of get some things done, especially if she was going to do the decoy maneuver and have somebody else step in and be Queen Amidala. So this queen is very much not really like a person as much as it is like an identity and like this idea that anybody can assume. And Padme was just sort of kind of working behind the shadows. So now that she doesn't have Amidala to lean back on, she's not really sure what she wants to do or how she wants to do things or even who she is. She's never had to present Padme Naberrie to really anybody. So this whole book is dedicated to her trying to figure that out. What I love is that the way that she's able to do this is that she gets so much help from the other women around her, whether that is through her friends with the handmaidens, whether it's through her best friend Sabe, or these relationships that she soon comes to form with Mon Mothma in the Senate, and then also Queen Breha of Alderaan. With Mon Mothma, she really learns how to be a senator and how she kind of needs to tweak who she is in order to be a better senator. When she first arrives on Coruscant, she still has that guise of Queen Amidala that she's kind of leaning back on. She thinks that she has tweaked it to be a senator, but she really hasn't. She's still wearing these super elaborate outfits that are kind of, weird to move in, or that people like kind of look at her kind of funny for. She's still talking in a very like monotone voice and kind of just not letting herself come through. And so people don't know if they can trust her because they don't know who she is. They don't know how she's going to vote on things, so they don't really want to ever join her side. All they know her as this child queen who once upon a time came into the Senate, just messed everything up, didn't care what they were doing, and just got her own way. So she kind of figures out how she needs to adapt that and how she can let herself show through, because she succeeds when she allows her passions to really shine through. Like, Padme is a very passionate character. She cares very deeply about people and that causes that she decides to stick herself to. And when she allows those passions to come out, it sways people over to her side. And it's something that's really beautiful to see. And you really see Mon Mothma kind of help her figure that out. But then she also gets a lot of help from Queen Breha from Alderaan, in that she's a fellow queen. She knows what it's like to have to be this public persona, like how sometimes you do have to present a different side of yourself to the people in order to get things done. She knows what it's like to be in the spotlight, to have people judge you for literally every little thing, the way that you look, the way you dress, the way you sound, like the way, like how old you are, all of this stuff. So the fact that Padme was finally able to have somebody that she could connect to on this level super helped her. And like with Breha, yes, her monarchy is a little bit different. With them, it's through bloodline, whereas Naboo, it's elected. So Breha knows that you don't necessarily have to have that separation between queen and person, but she's able to kind of present it to Padme in a different way that she hadn't really thought of before. So that was really beautiful. And it's also really beautiful because obviously Breha later on is going to raise Padme's daughter Leia. So that was just like all of the feels all over the place. We don't just get Padme's perspective though, we also get one of her handmaidens, Sabe's perspective. And she, if you don't know, is from The Phantom Menace. She's the one who normally pulls that decoy maneuver with Padme. She was played by Keira Knightley. And what I love about her is that she is very much like loyal to Padme above anything else. She will always choose Padme, even though she knows that Padme may not always choose her, because Padme does have to choose the people that she's serving or the planet or all of that kind of stuff. But she is so unbelievably loyal to Padme, to the point where her identity is tied to Padme's, just like Padme's is tied to Queen Amidala's. And it was really interesting to see their dynamics and how they thought about things, and their friendship is just so unbelievably beautiful. I really do hope we get to see more from them. I do think we're going to get a standalone Sabe novel, just the way that this book ended, because it ended on a very interesting note. I really do think we're gonna move off and see more of her. Unfortunately, that would be after Padme dies, but I do think that's where we're going, and I'm very interested in that, because Sabe is a character that I think you could really play with her sexuality and how she views the world and relationships and connections and all of this, and I'm super interested in that. So I would say that's something that you really should watch. But the biggest takeaway from this book has to do with Star Wars Episode 9. And so here I go, getting on my Reylo train, getting on my Ben Dempton train. So if you don't want to hear that, I guess go ahead and click away now. But Ben Solo is his grandmother. Everybody likes to say, oh no, Kylo Ren, he's got too much Vader in him. He's fallen to the dark side. He's just like Anakin. No, he's Padme. He's literally Padme. Everything that you get about her characterization in this book points to who Ben Solo was before he fell and who he could still be if he were to be redeemed. Just how she presents herself, how she thinks about like hiding behind a mask, how she governs, all of this sorts of stuff just points to Ben Solo. And I was kind of taken aback by it and just completely blown away. It's really interesting. And I mean, we haven't gotten anything from Ben Solo's perspective. We don't know exactly what kind of person he was, but we have gotten little tidbits, things here and there, like the calligraphy set, like in Bloodlines when Padme says that he wouldn't want to rule a whole country, but he probably would be good at it considering that he's Padme's son and he's also the grandson of Padme Amidala. So, you know, it's very, the connections are really there, and it really bothers me that the author of this book doesn't like Kylo Ren and thinks that he is an irredeemable villain, because I don't see how you could write this book with these parallels and not see it. So either I'm crazy or she's crazy, or I don't know. I mean, it's fake and it's in space, so you can think what you want, but that's just kind of where I'm seeing things go. And if anything, getting this book when we got it, which is in the run-up to episode 9, with this kind of focus on being inside of your mind and figuring out who you want to be and who you are without the mask and how you want to govern, that is just so redemption arc Ben Solo to me. And also, the handmaidens are extremely Knights of Ren. We also haven't gotten anything about the Knights of Ren, but I mean, come on, the handmaidens changed their names because of their loyalty to Padme. So they all changed their names to like Dorme and Cordme and Sabe and all that kind of stuff because of Padme. So honestly, he is his grandmother. That's where we're going. And also, Reverse Amidala is as strong as it could ever be, because clearly Rey is Anakin and Ben is Padme, and he's on the Reverse Anakin arc, and it's beautiful and it's going places, and that's what I'm here for. But rant over that aside, this book is truly amazing. I didn't really spoil anything for you guys because there's still some weirdness that happens in part 5 where I don't really know if that's gonna allude to things later. I don't know. So if you haven't read this book, I still highly recommend that you do. And if you have read this book, I'd really love to know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Obviously, there's stuff that I missed because I'm on my Ben Solo pain train and I'm just ranting all over the place, so just go ahead, let me know all of your thoughts. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything I got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!